Vladimir Putin has described Russia's invasion of Ukraine as just in a speech at an annual military parade in Moscow. He praised the Russian soldiers who, in his words, are confronting an aggressive force armed and supported by the entire NATO bloc. Steve Rosenberg watched the event.
What was notable about this year's parade was what we didn't see. There were no tanks, no missiles, none of the hardware the Kremlin normally showcases on Victory Day. The parade had been scaled back out of fear of a Ukrainian attack. In a speech, President Putin spoke not just of the past, but of Russia's war now on Ukraine. "We will always be victorious," he said. A 10-minute film was shown of Russia's latest weaponry. The Kremlin had clearly decided that if it couldn't parade the military hardware in public, a video presentation was the next best thing.
Australia's far-right populist One Nation party has won its first seat in the lower house of Parliament in the 30 years since its foundation. David Farley won the Farrer by-election in New South Wales with a projected vote share of over 59%. One Nation has seen its popularity surge in recent months. From Sydney, Katie Watson.
The by-election for Farrer was triggered by the resignation of Susan Lee, who quit when she was ousted as the opposition Conservative Liberal Party leader. David Farley, whose background is in agribusiness, called his victory a milestone. One Nation leader Pauline Hanson told supporters that this wasn't just a win for Farrer, it was a win for Australia, and said the party was coming after those other seats.
The head of the WHO has thanked the people of Tenerife for receiving a cruise ship hit by a hantavirus outbreak that has already killed 3 people. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said they had responded with grace and compassion. He promised that any risk to them was low. World News from the BBC.
Sue, thank you. That's Sue Montgomery. Hello, I'm Lee James. Welcome back to Sports World's Premier League Saturday. We're still waiting for the first goal in our commentary game at the Stadium of Light. It's 0-0 between Sunderland and Manchester United. With the second half underway, let's rejoin Paul Robinson and Ian Dennis.
And now with Ahmad to shore, but Sunderland are continuing to press. Do you think fatigue could be a factor on this? I mean, it'll be a heavy pitch due to the rain. Sunderland have worked really, really hard, haven't they, for the off the ball to close down Manchester United in every respect.
It's a tempo that the manager has obviously asked for them in this particular game, and it's worked for them. But it's a big ask to keep it up for 90 minutes because they're pressing high and they're pressing at pace. And it's not just one or two that's pressing, they're pressing as a unit together. It's impressive to watch from up here on high because you can see that they've been worked on the training ground, and you can see the movement side to side and to try and close those gaps and those lines between the defence, the midfield, the attacking players that we talk about. There's not been much space for Manchester United today.
Maguire with the back pass to Lamans. There's been a goal at St Mirren. Kenny Crawford.
Just 30 seconds into the second half, Ian. It's St Mirren 0, Kilmarnock 2, and it's a brilliant finish by Finlay Curtis. It was Greg Kiltie, the midfielder, running through. His path was blocked, but the ball rolled into Curtis, the 19-year-old winger on loan from Rangers, and he steered it round Ross Sinclair into the bottom right-hand corner. What a vital goal for Neil McCann's men that could be. It's St Mirren 0, Kilmarnock 2.
Yeah, because that, with 2 games to go, would give them a 4-point buffer over St Mirren, who would then have to go into that relegation/promotion playoff game to try and retain their top-flight status in the Scottish Premiership. Motherwell Hearts is an 8 o'clock kickoff at Fir Park. And a reminder, tomorrow we've got Celtic Rangers live from midday on BBC Radio 5 Live. Nottingham Forest Newcastle will be at 2. Burnley Aston Villa likewise, but on Sports Extra. And Crystal Palace against Everton will be on Sports Extra 2 before West Ham United Arsenal with John Murray and Rob Green commentary at 4:30 tomorrow. After Sports Report today, we'll bring you Manchester City Brentford. Remember, Manchester City 5 points off Arsenal, and this will be their game in hand against Keith Andrews' side, who've been extremely impressive this season, and a 7th and still looking for European qualification for the first time in their 137-year history. As Sunderland on the defensive, as Manchester United work their way downfield, and the effort from Cunha over 25 yards out from goal, leaning back right-footed, sails over the goal of Roofs away towards our left and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a tame effort from Manchester United, and Cunha didn't really strike it like he had any belief that he was going to cause Robin Roofs a problem. Better play from Manchester United. They work the ball well from back to front.
Sunderland have actually suffered 24 defeats against Manchester United in the Premier League, the most against any opponent in the competition. They've won 3 of 33 in the Premier League and drawn 6. But then my inner John Murray kicks in, aware of course that football began before the Premier League. So in the Football League, I checked back on the previous 33, where Sunderland had lost 13, drawn 14 and won 6.
He's getting under your skin, isn't he, with his before the Premier League?
No,
certainly got to you, hasn't it?
I'm with him. we are aligned.
It is. It's 100% true, though, isn't it? Football never started when the Premier League did, although sometimes it does feel like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, we are aligned in that. Here is Mason Mount out towards Ahmed on the far side, 5 minutes into the second half. Here is Bruno Fernandes, plays the ball into the penalty area, and Cunha's effort blocked by Hair-Trowder, comes to Cunha out of the penalty area, left-hand side, back towards Shaw, low ball in, not too sure what Xerxes was looking to do, it goes to Mukiele who clears, aerial challenge that Xhaka tries to win against Ahmad, loose ball picked up by the black shirts of Manchester United, Martinez turns swiftly, Mazraoui plays the ball to Fernandes but runs away on this wet surface, and Alderete, it looked like he was going to marshal the ball safely out for a goal kick, and then he cleared it right at the last opportunity, but he's presented it back to Manchester United. Shaw will drive forward. Cunha coming in field, 25 yards out from goal. Mazraoui with a layoff. Fernandes first time hit, strikes Xhaka out towards the far side. Manchester United get a throw. It's been a better start by Manchester United. They take the throw quickly too.
Yeah, they look good in the wider areas as well. They've got Ahmad on the field, they've got Cunha on the field. Stretch the team, make it wider, get the crosses in the box like there. Bruno Fernandes took up a really good position. Cunha came in from the far post. It was a half a chance for Manchester United, but in the same way that Sunderland did in the first half to Manchester United are doing it to Sunderland now. They're struggling to get any type of possession, Sunderland.
Maguire to Mainu at a walking pace for Manchester United. Mainu to Maguire. Martinez is to his left. Maguire, though, in the centre circle, will go the other way as Mason Mount finds Ahmad, shown on the outside by Reynildo. Infield now to Bruno Fernandes. And the ball from his first time ball will fall to Ahmad, and rather going for goal, he's looked for the cutback. 6 yards out, and Sunderland are able to clear the ball. Now, can they play the ball up towards Hume? Had his legs taken away from him by Shaw. They were unable to take advantage of that potential opening there, United. That was a foul by Fernandes. Let's get an update from Brighton. John Southall.
Brighton 2, Wolves 0, but this is a rarity. Wolves have had their first chance of the game. Mane cross from the left-hand side there was Mosquera just stretching, and his header just bounced off the bar. Brighton 2, Wolves 0.
Did Ahmad do the right thing, or were you expecting him to shoot at goal?
I was just watching the replay there when we were listening to John. I think he should have taken on the shot. I really do. I think Bruno Fernandes went to slip the ball through inadvertently. It deflected off a Sunderland player, and Ahmad's running in on the angle. He's only 7 or 8 yards out, one-on-one with the goalkeeper on the angle. He's been very unselfish to his credit, and he's looked to square it to Cunha, but I think the shot for himself was a better option.
Still it remains 0-0 here at the Stadium of Light. Martinez. Cunha drops inside his own half. Ball up towards Xerxes. Fernandes hits it first time. Actually strikes Xerxes, who was on the floor. Manchester United then lose the ball in the centre circle. Alderete was caught there by Mason Mount. You'd said in the first half that Mason Mount had to be careful.
The referee's just in his ear now. I'll be interested to see what he does when the play stops. I think he's just had a word with Mason Mount on his way past. That certainly is his last warning, the Manchester United midfielder.
And Alderete is still down. Xhaka has put the ball out of play so that Alderete can get some treatment. Stuart Atwell then just did have a word with Mason Mount as he walked